Do I have the king of the beans with me?
Yeah. And you've also got Kay Thanks Bye, who's the other founder of the Bakehouse.
Oh, that's great. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight.
So it's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having us.
Of course. Well, I think it's probably tomorrow, the next day for you guys. What time is it where you are? About 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we're down under, backwards, and in front. Apparently, yeah, it's just gone 11 a.m.
I just had the Aussie mining token on earlier, and they were. Do you know those guys?
Got the reward miner one,
No,
crypto. No.
that's a different one. That was the one that you were in the room the other day. These guys were doing a clean energy, solar powered Bitcoin mining farm in Australia, a little north of Sydney.
Yeah, yep. I know the guys. I just yeah. How did that one go?
Oh yeah, it went really well. They were just flipping the switches tonight on their mining to get everything started. But yeah, it went great. The way we'll kind of run this is I'll let you, take the lead with this. I want you to get your message out. We got a lot of fans in my group of the project, so they hear enough of me. They want to hear you.
I'm just sharing to join here in our groups. So if we can give it a minute or
Of
so
course.
until I get that shared, that'd be great. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. Let's give it a couple minutes. Let's give it like 2, 3 minutes. Get some more people in here for sure.
What time? You Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah, I'm on the east coast of the U.S. right here, down in South Carolina. So yeah, it's 8 o'clock here. So just starting to get dark over here.
Oh, nice. You're not far from K. Thanks. He's just around the corner.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm new to South Carolina. I actually just moved here a couple months back. I'm from Philadelphia originally, and then I've lived in Florida the last 13, 14 years. So I finally escaped Florida. I don't know if you've ever been to the states.
I literally just escaped Florida like just about a year ago.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
it trapped me
escaped.
for about 30 years.
I escaped last summer. Where did you live?
I was born and raised like right smack dab Central Florida. I was uh, trying to say it without giving myself away. I was close to Orlando.
Okay. All right. I was on the west coast, on the Gulf Coast, in Pinellas County, in Palm Harbor. If you know where like Clearwater is, I'm sure.
I actually lived in Clearwater with for like 6, 8 months with an ex of mine.
Get
We
out.
moved out there, their family. So yeah, I lived in Clearwater for like 6 months or so,
Yeah, good
and ended
old.
up going back to Orlando.
Yeah, good old US 19.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been to New York and the US a couple of times. My ex girlfriend was from a little bit upstate New York, so love to come back. Just reordered my passport so I can come over and finally meet K. Thanks. It's been too long.
It's nice, nice. Are you in the Carolinas now, Kay? Thanks.
I'm in Georgia.
Oh, okay, not too far. That's funny. Yeah, you escaped Florida. I'm in like the Greenville area.
Okay.
I like it so far
Yeah.
though.
Well, I mean, I'm in like North Georgia, up in the mountains. But I actually had family, that's a sister of mine that lived in North Carolina for a handful of years. So, uh, and I actually have, but a sibling of mine actually wants to move to Greenville. He likes the area. So,
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man.
yeah,
It's really cool. It's only 45 minutes from North Carolina, only 45 minutes from Tennessee, about 45, 50 minutes from Georgia. You know, you're kind of near everything
pretty
except the
cool. That's pretty
beach.
cool.
Except the beach. We're nowhere near the beach.
All right, I
Grew up
think
like
we can.
5 minutes.
Sorry.
Do
Yeah,
you
I think we
guys?
could kick it off. Okay, then. Did you want to start, or
Yeah,
did
we
you want
can.
me to
We
start?
we can get started. So why don't you? I'll just ask maybe like a question or two to get started, and then I'll let you take the lead and just tell everybody about the project, and we can take some questions at the end. So how did this project come to be? Like, what was like the creative factor for you guys to be like, you know what, this is the kind of project we're going to do because it's very different than most of the stuff that's out there right now.
So we started it. We obviously didn't have much money or anything like that when we first started. We'd been in a few failed projects, projects that weren't successful, with devs that were kind of absent or just not fulfilling their role as a proper dev, as we should see a proper dev fit. And they just weren't able to build a community, have the following, and create something that was actually stable and economically good for their users and their customers and the investors. So essentially, K-Thanks and I came together and got Baked Beans up and going. So it's a smart contract mining platform where you deposit BNB, you get BNB rewards, or you get beans with your BNB deposits, and you get up to 8% daily on your returns. But there's a few hidden features in the contract which create a bit more sustainability for us compared to other projects. There's things in other projects. I won't name any of them off the top, but there's too many hidden features where you can only either withdraw a certain amount. There's max buys, max sells. There's just locked periods, all sorts of stuff like that. And sometimes by the time your locked periods ended, it's the TVL is already drained. We've got a lot of openness with our platform and the contract, but there's the things like the anti-whale mechanism. So if you decide to eat too much for the BNB miner, your rewards end up dropping a substantial percent. So instead of getting your 6 to 8% on a daily basis, it'll drop to under 0.5% daily returns if you decide to continually eat. And then it's also just that creates a sustainability for the project to move forward. We've built it up organically since November the 6th of last year. We started off quite slow and then started to build a very solid community base and instill in them that it was best to rebake 6 times and eat once a week. It's the way the contract works. It's a proven, tried and tested method to ensure that you're continually compounding, and then also on your weekly eat, that's gaining each week. So each weekly eat, you'll continue getting more and more and more. And this is to benefit not just yourself, but the whole user base. We don't want to just like go up and then go down. So if everyone's to continue on that path and do the 6-to-1 ratio as it's best for the contract, it's best for yourselves, then this will last a very long time. And the rewards in a couple of years for some people are going to be absolutely phenomenal. But the way it's heading at the moment, we've done quite well. We've been kicking off the marketing properly since our launch of the Bean Chart token, which is to help erase some of the Ponzi-nomics of the actual miner. And it comes under the umbrella project. Our overall scene project is called the Bakehouse. So that being said, the Bean Chart token has a 12% buy and sell tax, which 5% goes to the miner on the buys and sells, and the 4% goes to marketing and 3% to liquidity. So we have a very strong liquidity as well at the moment, which is sitting up around 418 BNB with a 1.5 million market cap. We've got rid of the pre-sale dump, and the chart's actually looking very bullish for a BSC project. I think that's due to our honesty, integrity, and dedication to the project and the community. Where am I at? The marketing has just sort of kicked off since the since the launch of the BCT token, we've hired a marketing guy, and we've doing several AMAs. We've already had several, and keep continuing to do them to get more eyes on our project. And also partnering with a lot of YouTubers who are very keen on our project and the way we're going about things, because the average lifespan for a miner is only 11 days, and we are now around 150 days old.
That's
so
amazing.
We're about to come up on our 5th month birthday. But then there's more utilities for the Bean Chart token as well. The staking dApp for the Bean Chart token has been launched, but the countdown block is 4 hours, 12 minutes, and 42 seconds away. So you can actually go onto www.cryptobakehouse.com. In our official channels, you'll find the links. And under the menu at the top, you can find staking, and you can stake your BCT to earn BCT. We've already had a huge portion of the holders stake their BCT. So that's going to create a lot of stability for the chart and things moving forward. And the whole idea behind the Bakehouse project is to create some passive income, especially in DeFi. It's something that's a little bit less governed by the authorities, so we can sort of have a little bit of free reign there. We're having people DM us about being able to afford medication for their families that they haven't been able to afford for many years, that they're making more on their weekly eat than they are from their week's worth of wages from their day jobs. And that's ultimately our goal, is to keep creating passive income. And that's moving forward. We're also going to be doing multi-blockchain miners and platforms, tokens, everything that's going to be interoperable, so that they all work hand in hand and keep creating and providing passive income for people, users, and our investors. There's going to be merchandise launching, which we're halfway through designing, which will be some Bakehouse merchandise. There'll be some limited edition merchandise for people holding both the BCT token and invested in the miner, which will be purchased with Bean Chart token, which will be burnt, and then also can be purchased with fiat, with your dirty fiat. We've got NFTs that are being designed, which we're in talks with a couple of NFT marketplaces, and then going to be working on getting a game developed so they're integrated into a metaverse and into the gaming world. So we've got a lot of things on our agenda, and it's looking very promising every week.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're definitely a lot more than just a traditional miner model, because you said that the average one only lasts about 11 days in the past. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's even if they get to the 11th day. Sometimes they don't even last that long.
So a kind of a safeguard that you've put in with also with your token is having that buy and sell, that 5% constantly feeding that. I'm sure that helps to keep the wheels running, so to speak.
Essentially, yes. It's with the contract for the miner, it's immutable, so we can't alter it. So we weren't able to have the token automatically drop it or deposit it into the miner. So we've got a wallet that it's connected to, and as needed, it'll be deposited in. But since launching the token, our miner's gone absolutely bonkers. It's gone up in nearly 12 hours today. It's gone up about 550 BNB. So there hasn't been a need to deposit any yet. We've made one deposit of 10 BNB, but at this point in time, it's going to be used when and if needed. So if it's still rising and it constantly keeps rising to another 10, 20, 30,000 BNB, we're just going to let it accumulate in that wallet, and we'll use it strategically on the big 8 days, which is generally closer to the weekend, as
right.
Everyone likes to obviously take some profits and go out with their girl or go out for a nice dinner or something.
That's nice. Now, my group would probably not forgive me if I didn't ask you this question. So the best way, at least, for your project to work is to rebake for 6 days and then to eat on the 7th day. Now, I know you have safeguards in place to where you get less if you're greedy and you eat more often. Is there anything that the community can do to mess this system up by not following the rules, even with your guidelines in place?
Yeah, there's always that possibility. I'll never say never. It's going to take a lot for it to drain now. The higher the TVL gets, the harder it is going to be to drain. A big difference between us and a lot of the other mining platforms is the amount of holders that we have.
Right.
So there's, last time I checked, there was over 7,500 holders.
Wow.
So if you spread that out across everybody, the amount of people to actually eat and drain the TVL is going to be a large portion of that. And we've got a whales chat. Well, most of them aren't even really eating. Some of them are, and when they do eat, it's on the weekdays, and sometimes they're just taking out when it gets to 2 BNB, they'll take out that and then let it accumulate for the rest of the day or the rest of the week. They're not taking out massive chunks of 20 or 30 BNB, which they could be doing. So we've created a really nice community that actually understands the way it works. To any one person to drain the TVL now, they're going to have to deposit nearly 15,000 BNB themselves, and then there's the chance that one person could drain it. Apart from that, at this point in time, every day it's just getting more stable.
That's amazing. And I love your transparency. I got to tell you, thank you for answering that question. You didn't dodge it at all, and you answered it very clearly and concise. And I want to thank you for that. I think that'll go a long way to, really ensuring people that, hey, this isn't just something that, will fade away in 11 days, 2 weeks or a month, that you have a system in place to where you want to have this not only be for the long run, but also continue to add on to it with other functions and other utilities. Now, I am a member of your community, and I got to tell you that I think you have an awesome community, and I think you guys have done a great job with getting everybody on the same page. It seems like everybody, really knows the right way to do this in order to, maximize their profits, but also to keep this, running smoothly. So that's definitely a testament to your community. It seems like it's a very strong community.
Yeah, it sure is. Like I've said it a couple of times in a few DMs. Not sure if I've mentioned it in AMA, but this project is actually, it means a lot to me. It's cost my relationship, and I've also moved house 5 times in the last 7 months. So it's taken a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, and being present and answering the community's questions. It's something like I said earlier on, that with the other previous projects we'd worked on, there was just not that transparency or honesty or the commitment from the dev. They were just gone, absent, and it reflected on the project. It just didn't last, didn't go anywhere. So definitely something I learned what not to do, and that's just how I've tried to build the community from the start. It's paid off.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a great community, and I'm looking forward to getting to know them. I see a bunch of them. This is a private chat. This group that we're in right now is a private group, and I did open it up to your group to come on in with it, and I saw a bunch of them flood in, and I want to thank you guys for coming in, and I hope you guys stay, because we have a really fun group over here, and I hope you guys stay and participate and be a part of the Dirty Mike family, because we have a good time here discussing a lot of good projects. We have a lot of CEOs from a lot of different companies and tokens in here, so there's a lot of good information to learn in this group for sure. Now, what about you, Kay? Thanks. How did you get involved in this project?
Oh, it was me and King Big Beaner here. We worked together on multiple projects before we ended up stumbling across this concept, and it's a trend. It's just a trend that you notice, trend that I noticed, trend that he noticed, is devs launch a project. They have, something to start with, some kind of concept or some kind of game or some kind of artwork. And once they launch something, they do a pre-sale, they make a little bit of money, they just, they go AWOL. And after, me and him working on multiple projects where we're sitting there for, I think it was at certain points, there's, a couple of weeks in between communications from some of the devs. Nothing was being done that you could see. There was nothing you could talk to the community about. We both got tired of sitting there, sitting on our hands, nothing we could actually do to move things forward. And, there's actually one developer that we worked with in the past that, became a professional rug doctor. He rugged multiple projects, stole a bunch of money from a bunch of affiliate projects that we were, community managers and things on. So after being abused by devs that were just looking out for themselves, we started thinking to ourselves, what can we do? What can we create that would ultimately not just benefit us, but benefit users? Let's not create another one of these meme tokens or these, games that, we're just looking to collect a buck and run. And that's where the whole passive income concept came up from. we loved the idea of being able to help, hundreds, if not thousands, if not, potentially millions of people down the road. And I think it's absolutely amazing to be able to, help change people's lives through a very, very simple concept that for some reason hasn't been executed correctly until now. So, just proud of what we've made. Me and Kratos have been through the ringer. We've seen the awfulness of the Binance Smart Chain. We're just proud to sprinkle a little good in there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you're saying really, really resonates because you guys probably don't know this yet, but I've actually just announced that me and actually one of our team members and owners, Educated Penis down here, we actually just started our own token, Wanker Token. A couple days ago, and we're in the process of pre-launch right now. So we started that with a pretty similar idea that we were tired of all the rug pulls and all the shit that goes along with it, and we've been investors and members of this community for a long time, and it's time to get together and put something out there that's legit and rally people around. So I understand exactly what you're saying, and it really resonates with me as well.
Yeah, we were sick of the BSC being the ghetto. We're
Yep.
trying to bring some integrity back to it, essentially. It's over the past 6 to 8 months, it's really rapidly gone downhill. So whatever we can do to try and bring some integrity and honesty and transparency back to it, then that's what we're going to do.
I like that. I'm a part of a panel. It's called Unite DeFi, and we get together every week. It's usually like 4 or 5 different tokens, and we all talk about how to work together and kind of promote our projects and just kind of make it a safe space. And I'm actually going to be doing a little offshoot of that from time to time, with my group and with a couple different tokens and all. And you guys are definitely the type of people that we want to associate with because your goals are definitely aligned with what us at Wanker Token and some of our other projects that we work with are seeing. So that's really good. I like what you guys are doing for sure. I'll give you a little more time to talk here about your project and where are you guys headed from now? Like what's the agenda as of right now that you guys are working on? Because you got everything running really smooth at this point. Where do you go from here?
Take that one.
I was going to ask you to take that one. Yeah, that's fine. So at the moment, we're just trying to. We had the staking DApp launched yesterday, my time, on the 1st. So the countdown's not far away to the rewards accumulating. Now we got the website 2.0 is close to being finalized. So a more professional website because as we started, it's a bit meme-like and it's not how we want to be seen.
Yeah.
We want to be a altcoin. So the staking for the BCT token will be around 50%, 50 to 60% APY. There's 48 BCT per block. We're just trying to create a bit of stability for the miner and the token at the moment. There's going to be a dashboard update coming for the miner. There's a few things missing from it that just need to be added. The community have had a lot of feedback just on things that are missing and they would like to see. So we're going to do our best to get as many of them updated and on it. We don't want to overcomplicate it. We like the simplicity of it. There's also things that we cannot do. As I said, the contract's immutable, so we can't access the contract to add certain functions to it. But we're going to do our best to have some It's still got a full month. Then that'll be available on the website. Then moving forward, we've got the NFTs, which K-Thanks has designed a couple of packs already, and they're pretty dope looking. So I'm actually really looking forward to making them and being able to market them. And we've hired a full-time marketing guy. So him coming in on our team, he's just been getting everything gathered this week, and next week we've got a meeting Monday and Tuesday, and he's going to be going full barrel into making sure that the whole world knows about us. So we've got a lot of things happening. We're also debating at the moment behind the scenes about which network we want to launch our next miner on. And when we decide that, we'll make an announcement and we'll have that developed within the next couple of months. We just don't want to jeopardize either one of these two projects that we have going at the moment. So as soon as they're stable, the sooner they're stable, we can relaunch the next miner.
Okay, so you have plans on expanding this into another miner as well.
Yes, sir. There's going to be several miners on their way. That's hence the rebrand to the Bakehouse. We're going to be baking everything.
Man, that's exciting. Tell me a little bit about the NFTs and how they're going to function in the community, because that's a pretty cool concept. Kay, thanks. You said you're developing them yourself.
And one of the earlier things I first started doing in crypto to fill the voids where, I was, jumping into groups and starting to invest in was graphic artists. Nobody was seeming to fill that void. So I jumped in, started doing artwork. I went to school got my degree in computer information technology. So I've got, some background education in the graphic art, graphic artwork and web design, coding, developing. I'm a master of all trades. You give me something that needs to be done, I can typically tend to make it happen if it needs to be done. But the artwork, I genuinely enjoy it. I've already done a 10K generative NFT package. Worked on it for another project before we even started Baked Beans. And nothing's actually been done with that project for months now. So coming up here shortly, turns out that if, that project isn't moving forward, I'll already have a 10K generative NFT pack ready to go. I actually really like it. It's super amusing. We already have the rarities worked out and everything like that. So it'll be pretty cool. There's also a concept that I have, I've had for it's a merchandise store where you'll be able to get your NFT printed onto article of clothing. So you'll be able to connect your wallet. It'll be able to tell the NFT that you own from the package, and then it'll allow you to print a T-shirt. Kind of like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, but a little bit more personalized. A couple of concepts. Just a matter of working them out, getting them developed, and we'll most likely launch the first merch store. It'll be more of the clean and professional, appearance, the basic logos and the nice clean apparel to start off with, and it'll be in fiat only. And then down the road, we'll have to find ourselves a marketplace that we can work with that can handle the transfer of the cryptocurrency to pay for the goods. So yeah, it's just a matter of working on that. The NFT packages, I love designing them. I might be doing a fresh one, but I'm thinking that we already have a 10K generative pack ready to go. So it's just a matter of getting everything set up with the marketplaces and making sure we have everything in order. We like to make sure that we do everything right the first time rather than having to go back and fix everything after after we screwed the pooch.
Well, you know what? We'll talk. We'll talk off of recording. We're actually at Wanker. We're going to be doing a limited edition set of NFTs. We kind of went with a nautical theme, where all the owners kind of have their own kind of ranks, and we were floating around the idea of doing an NFT line as well. So we were actually looking for someone to help design it. So we could definitely talk about that a little bit more. Maybe you could help us out with that.
Absolutely. Reach out, send me some concepts, send me some ideas, some artwork that already exists that you like. And, we'll see if I can find some time after we get our first merch store launched to help you out.
That's cool. Our utility that we're going for is we're designing a platform for graphic artists, web developers, and influencers, so that tokens can actually go on the platform and shop for the services that they need, and work within their budget. Because I'll tell you, as an influencer, it's hard to match up sometimes with, tokens. And I'm sure as a token, you guys have come across this yourself, that it's, kind of difficult to find the right type of people to, do services for you, whether it be social media influencers or, web developers. So that's kind of what we're working on to, give some people an opportunity to, find some additional work, because I'm sure, there's a lot of great graphic designers and artists around there that, really could, do a lot of benefit for some new tokens that are out there that just, don't really have the means or the way to, really get in touch with them properly.
Absolutely. That was one of my biggest issues, is I was, trying to sell sticker packs.
Right.
And, It turns out that I was actually working for an IDO platform. So, they were launching tokens and those tokens would be brand new. They didn't have graphic artists. And I would typically, send them examples, be like, hey, here's what I made for this group and this group and this group. If you like them, you know what I mean? You can pay me X amount of tokens or, certain dollar value of tokens. And I did that for a while, but that was the only outreach I had was to the groups that were coming through the IDO platform
Right.
versus being able to actually find people that were just launching tokens and needed help. So yeah, that was actually a really cool concept.
Yeah, I definitely, because, as I've been doing this more and more, and, I talk to more and more different tokens, they all tell me the same thing. Man, it's just such a, grind and so, difficult to find the right influencers for the right price. And, some of the influencers that are out there, man, charging people, $10,000 to do like a video in an AMA for, people that really don't even give a shit about them. They're just not invested in the project. And, the prices that some of these people charge, and, for new tokens, it's not attainable to be paying that type of price. For somebody to send out a tweet that really has really no connection to the project. So that's what we're hoping to do, kind of bridge that gap between tokens and the services that they need and the people who need that work.
There's something just you just brought up something that it's just ticked my brain. The our marketing guy, we've changed all of our links in all of our channels and everywhere like that to tiny URLs, so we can actually now track where our marketing is happening and coming from.
Really?
It's a big crypto to make sure we're acquiring the right audiences, and then when we do, making sure we're hitting those targets and making sure they're all fulfilled. Yeah, he's very experienced, so it's doing us really well. We've got a dashboard that's telling us how many people have clicked on it, how many uniques, how many links are bots, and all that sort of stuff. And then also the price of things. As soon as you mention crypto, people are just like, "Oh no, that's worth $2,500 now, not 500." It's a bit of a joke when it comes to things like that.
It really is.
So,
Obviously, not all people, we're out to make money too, just like graphic designers are, just like web developers are. Everybody's out there to get a little piece of it, but we need to work together and help each other out instead of people charging $5,000-$10,000 to make like a 3-4 minute video. I think it's bullshit, honestly.
Yeah, and a lot of them might have botted their own channels. If you go back to some of the YouTubers and go back to their first videos, how does someone that's created a first video get 10,000 views but only like 12 likes? It just doesn't make sense.
I'll tell you how advertising, YouTube advertising.
But yeah, I totally agree in that sense. It's something we strive on, is just honesty, integrity, and being transparent. It's what's going to see us have a fruitful future. And obviously I talk to a couple of other devs from other projects as well. So there's definitely partnerships we're looking at with other mining platforms and things like that to work as a team, to work together rather than against each other.
Right.
Because if we can create some more sustainability for all of our projects, it's only going to benefit us all rather than trying to fight and battle all the time. There's just because it's crypto doesn't mean you have to work against each other. There's other businesses that monopolize and help each other out. So why not start to do it here?
Yeah, that's the exact motto of the Unite DeFi group that does that every week. That why work together to help bring it forward. Because the truth of the matter is 90% of the projects that come out in the BSC space are going to be gone in a year's time. They're just going to be gone. So if you build a floor of good projects and you work together to help each other to be successful and keep moving crypto forward, next thing you know, a year, 2, 3 years down the road, 90% of the projects that are coming out are going to be legitimate and for the long run, and get rid of all those shit projects that are out there.
Yeah, I completely agree there. It's needed, and I know some of the YouTubers now are starting to collaborate and work together, which is a good sign, especially for projects like ours and yours.
Yeah, absolutely, it's definitely a good sign. So that's kind of like my little piece with the project too, is to try to get people to work together. To hey man, let's pull our services together. Let's get everybody working. Let's get everybody getting promoted. Let's keep moving this space forward, and that's how we're all going to be successful. 100%. It sounds like that you guys, from the projects that you worked on before, it sounds like you learned a lot of valuable lessons about, what worked and what didn't work. and it got you to the point to where now you know what has to work. You have a clear vision of what it takes to make it work, and now it seems like you're implementing all the right strategies to make sure that this works. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, man. Essentially, I think we learned more about what not to do than what we actually learned what to
Right.
do. We had to do all the research and the education on what to actually do properly, but definitely learned what not to do. That's for sure.
Well, then I'm going to lean on your advice then, and I'm going to ask you, since you're a really nice guy, you guys, and I really appreciate all your honesty. You guys are probably one of the most honest projects I've had, on the channel. I've had a lot of different people on here. What would your advice be to a new project? Something that I'm kind of working on, right now, and getting ready to launch within the next month or so. What's the best piece of advice that you could give me to how to move it forward successfully and build a good community?
At the start, you need to be present. As a dev or as a founder, the more you're present and able to show your commitment and dedication to the community, yeah, it's a toll, but it's well worth it. That's probably the biggest one. Be transparent, honest, and just be present.
Oh
The
yeah,
more you can be present,
I'm present. My guys see my ugly face almost every single night. I'm making 2 videos a night, so people are probably getting sick of seeing me at this point.
no, that's probably the biggest one. Just stick by your integrity and your morals, and you'll definitely see the rewards.
Awesome. That's really good advice for sure. Well, I'm going to open it up to some questions, guys. I don't like to mute anybody in the chat, so if you guys have a question, let's do it one at a time. Please unmute yourselves and let's get some questions flowing in here.
All right, good day. I'm John from Nigeria.
Hey, John. What's your question?
Yeah. All right. I'm just new on your channel on Baked Beans,
Welcome.
and I just saw this on the platform, so I joined the call immediately. I just want to ask, what's the duration of the project Baked Beans? What's the duration of this project? I just want to have an idea because I am coming in fully. I'm already getting myself. I just completed my connection with the MetaMask today. I'm planning to fund by morning. So I just want to know when the project is going to last. How long is the duration? That's my question.
We've been alive for 150 days. We are continuing to move forward. I mean, the recent growth has been absolutely insane. We have no intentions of stopping. So I see no reason why this project would fall apart in really any reasonable amount of time. I think we got ourselves a good handful of years ahead of us on this project as long as it's handled correctly and we continue to push it forward, which we plan to. So yeah, I don't think you have anything to worry about. We're going to continue to push this, continue to market, continue to develop, and continue to turn this ecosystem into something that everybody knows about. That's ultimately the goal. Let's make ourselves known across the globe and push this forward. There's no reason why everybody should know about us.
All right, thank you so much. Because I'm looking at seeing how I can push it right here in Nigeria, because it's just pretty new in Nigeria here. We have some other projects I'm working on presently, and I have a team, and I'm looking at bringing them on board with the team. But I just want to see how it goes, then see how we can market it also in Nigeria. That's why, a lot of questions are going to be asked from me. How does this go? How does this happen? So, and that's why I'm asking this question so that I can be able to provide the right answers to them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, John, for the question. All right, who else we got? Who's next with questions?
Don't be shy. We're pretty nice people.
Yeah, come on, guys. I know you guys got questions. We have covered a lot of information, though, which is good. We may have answered a lot of questions.
We cover it that well.
So far, so good. Definitely seems like we've. Let me see. Let me look at the chat real quick and see if we got any.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, mate.
Okay, cool. Just to follow on from the last question, what are the factors that can influence the longevity of the actual success of the project? My name's Neil, by the way. I live in Hong Kong.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to take this one?
No, you got it. Thanks.
The longevity of this. I mean, one, we get the constant question in chat of someone coming through, and they'll say, "Hey, I'm looking at this calculator, and this calculator tells me that I'm going to be pulling $1 billion in a year. So how is this still alive?" And if you're following that math, we've been alive for 5 months. We would have already collapsed from of our early investors. So the equations just don't seem to add up. But the longevity of this project is going to come from one, the token, being able to add back to the TVL on the days whenever it's dipping, and two, the community. I remember two months ago, I used to have to spend almost all day in the chat, constantly explaining to people, the 6:1 ratio, and you got to do this, you got to do that. And nowadays, we have it so hard beaten into our community that we don't even really have to answer the questions. The community answers them for us. They give the people the documents, the guide videos. We try and give everybody as much information as we possibly can to understand that this is for the long term. This isn't something where you're going to be able to come in and 2x and 3x, super rapidly. That's not what this is designed for. This is designed for longevity, and this is designed to be long-term passive income. So if you play the game right, there's no reason why you wouldn't succeed in the platform.
Nice. It's a good answer for sure. Because I obviously, I've heard that as well. Hey, what's going to happen with the early investors who are making billions of dollars a day? It's going to collapse the system. So, what you just explained definitely goes a long way to some education in that for sure. I have a question.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. I think what's really interesting about the project is that it's kind of being launched during a rather rough time in crypto, like dips in the markets and stuff like that. So it's really interesting that it's been able to constantly become more successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was one of our biggest.
Go ahead.
That was it. It was more just a comment.
I was just saying, yeah, that was one of the biggest struggles was knowing that we were in a downtime in crypto and we were launching when everybody was freaking out. Nobody really trusted anybody. Everybody had their backs turned on each other. So how do you fix this? I mean, we did have some trouble at the start. We got the contract up to 100 BNB. We had one big whale investor that he just ate and ate and ate before he understood the concept, and we got back down to 8.9 BNB. Most of the original investors got their money back. I think we were running it on like maybe 10 people, 10, 15 people just to give it a shot and test it out. And after we had 8.9 BNB, it was like, all right, now what do we do? Like, we have a platform that we understand, we know how it works, but how do we push this? And the biggest thing was the natural organic growth through communities of real investors. We could. I've got a friend that works for AMA Central. I've actually grew up with him, known him for 12, 13 years. He works with Travlad, but I don't want to use Travlad. Why don't I want to use Travlad? Because he doesn't bring real investors. He brings the Jeets looking for the 2x, 3x, 4x, the pump and dump. And that's not what we're designing here. We're designing long-term passive income from a group of trusted investors. So that's who we go to. We go to the smaller groups, the people that don't have 20,000 people following them that are giving away $20,000 as giveaways. We don't want that. That's too flashy, and that's not the concept that we're building. So I think with the proper marketing that we've done, and King Big Banner did a great job with the YouTubers, getting that nice organic YouTubers that had people that were following them because they actually liked them and wanted to invest in their calls.
Like Dirty Mike and the boys.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, that I agree with.
How
I agree with you 100% with that. It's sometimes it's a lot better, and I'm hearing a lot of tokens actually tell me we're going after the micro influencers, the smaller ones that only have 1,000, 2,000 followers, but they're passionate and they actually have a good community, and that's instead of having 10, 20,000 where it's really mostly just bots and just people who just subbed and don't really actually watch the videos or participate.
Yeah, cool.
Can,
Thank
can
you.
I ask something?
Yeah, Moles, you're on.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon for me. I'm sorry. About the staker, there's a simple way to explain how it works. The rewards.
The rewards are pretty simple. It's going to be 48 VCT tokens given out every block. Blocks complete in an average of 3 seconds. So 3 to 5 seconds. If the Binance decides to slow down a little bit, it can be 5 seconds. But those tokens will be evenly divided up amongst people that have tokens staked and divided every block. So your rewards will stack as the blocks complete, and you'll be able to see your rewards. One of the most important things that we notice is that you look at all these projects that do 1,000% APY, 1,500% APY, and they crash and burn. The value of the token ultimately plummets to unsalvageable point, and there's not much that they can do to revive it. There's nothing you can do once you promise people returns that high. There's no way to actually pay for that. So that's something we're not going to go with. We're going with reasonable and what we think is actually still rather high APY for a token that we will continue to market and continue to push.
Perfect. And you can unstake at any time?
It's not locked. We figured we locked away enough of your money with the BNB miner. You know what I mean?
Oh, all right. Perfect. Thank you.
Sorry, hey
All right,
guys. Sorry, coming back to your last when you were giving the example of at the beginning, you had some tough times because there was a big whale who came in and was eating. Was that dealt with sort of by the contract automatically because the amount of returns kept reducing and reducing? Or did you have to reach out to that whale and say, hey, that's not in the spirit of the project?
I'll take this one. So yeah, what happened is we were sitting up around 48 or 50 BNB in the TVL, and he deposited 65.6 BNB. So as he deposited more than half or over half of the actual TVL and got it up to 111 BNB, the contract anti-whale mechanism wasn't able to stop him in time. So he got back about 80, 85 BNB while other people ate as well. And that's what caused us to go from our 112 BNB back down to 8.9. By the time he'd eaten back about 80 of the BNB, his rewards dropped to like nothing now. And because he hasn't reinvested or rebaked, he's not making anything back on his beans amount. So the anti-whale mechanism did work, and it just saved us from getting all the way to 0 BNB in the TVL. So it was lucky that he didn't deposit 70 or 80 BNB, because that could have caused the downfall of the whole project. But now at this stage, like I said earlier, someone to do that same thing would need to deposit over 15,000 BNB for one wallet.
I've done the math a couple of times, and it's a little bit more than 15,000. The higher we get, the more it actually takes to pull it out. So it's like when we were sitting around 3,500, it was looking like it was going to take around 3 times the amount of money to pull it out. Right now, we're looking like it's like 4 times. So as we hit, I think 6,500, it's looking like a 6 times it'll take. So the higher we hit, the more money, the more BNB that's in there, it becomes significantly harder to do. So
I'd just like to ask, is it possible we get a recording for this meeting?
Yeah, yeah, John. I'm recording this. I'm streaming it live to YouTube, but I'm also recording it. So I'll be posting this in my group for everybody to watch who wasn't able to attend, and I will send a copy over to Baked Beans for them to post in their group as well. But yeah, you could definitely go on to my Dirty Mike Crypto YouTube channel. It's a shameless plug, and definitely watch the recording of it for sure. I got a question from chat for you guys. They said, how long before the 150 days, that you've been, actively going right now, how long before that were you in planning and design?
What? Sorry, what was the
Before you
question?
guys, I guess before you guys launched the mine or this project, how long were you in planning and design for it before you actually started going live with this?
Not long. That's why the dashboard's pretty simple and things like that. Just a couple of weeks, and then we launched it quite off the bat. So yeah, about 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you for answering that.
That's
Any other
pretty
questions?
impressive, right? Yeah, hey, talk about the simplicity of the dashboard. I love it. And on the last AMA, I think someone suggested that they asked if you could put a timer on it, a countdown timer, which is just a personal opinion. I think it's completely unnecessary. I think part of the great thing about Big Beans is that it's a community and people want to look into it every day and see what's happening. And this sort of automated reminder to bake your beans, I think, is against the sort of spirit of the project. But as I say, it's just simply my opinion. I do actually have one more question, and because I'm trying to shed spot some light on it for other people I know that could be interested in the project. But the one question I get back is how do you guys make the money with the sort of principle, for want of a better word, to be able to give the returns that you give the miners mining sort of the altcoins. I've watched a video that suggested that the money is like invested into miners that obviously mine other coins to be sold and then get the returns from.
Yours. Okay, thanks.
That's that's not true. That information is incorrect. The miners themselves are what mine the BNB. That's why we are rapidly frustrated by the question that we get in the chat. Super often, which you got to be understanding. But it's what's the price of beans? It's almost impossible to calculate the price of beans due to, there's at least 6 variables that I can think of off the top of my head without diving into the deeper math. You know what I mean? It's the price of BNB, the total value locked in the contract, the amount of BNB you put in at the exact time, the recent transactions around your deposit versus other people's deposits. It's there's a lot of things that go into it to calculate exactly what you get back. So I'm sorry, I think I started ranting off. What was the main question?
Just basically, how do you make money to be able to give us the returns or the project the returns?
Yeah, that's where the token concept came in. It was designed to remove some of the Ponzinomics that exist inside of the platform. So with 5% of every buy and every sell of the token, it generates income for users to be able to earn from that we will never take from, and will only be invested into the platform and never taken back out. So that helps remove some of the Ponzinomics. But no, that information was probably from somebody that was just uninformed whenever they first created it, or they were given the wrong information at the start.
Okay.
Great participation, everybody. For real, this is great. Everybody's asking a lot of questions, and this has been a great AMA, I got to tell you guys. Any other questions before we let these guys get out of here? I'm sure they got a lot of stuff to do, and they've been hanging with us for a while now. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. I just want some clarifications in terms of, because I understood that when we participate, we invest we buy miners, so the beans are miners, and the mine altcoins. And then, so I wanted to know, is that the return that we get? It's like maybe it's gonna return 8%, up to 8%, and then that return is distributed across the members, and then based on how much you invested, you get a percentage. Is that right?
No, it's so when you deposit your BNB, if you deposit one BNB, let's say, within the 24-hour period, if there's the constant TVL increase, you will earn up to 8%, like you mentioned. So you'll earn off your investment. So the 8%, let's just say 8%, right? For just the matter of this fact, you will earn 0.08. Is that right? 0.08 BNB back a day. It works off your investment, and that'll be your returns. It's not shared between all of the users.
So the only thing that adds to the TVL is new investment. I think the question is, like mining, it's like an open term, like ether mining, right? Like you're making something, it's getting distributed in a pool. That's not how it works. Right?
No, it's the token, the token reflections from the taxes and the new investments. That's
okay.
where the
that's what gets added
that's where,
to the
that's
TVL.
what gets added.
Okay.
I thought I'd unmuted myself, but I hadn't. So I guess the introduction of the BCT tokens actually kind of imperative for the long-term success of the project.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why we're doing everything we can to push it as hard as we can. The staking app, we managed to release it on exactly the day that we said we were going to. We have deadlines that we can't meet. So whenever we give a deadline for something, we like to come through on it. That's something the community knows, and that's awesome that we've managed to stick to it so far. We'll do our best to make sure that we continue to stick with that. But yeah.
Cool. Well, I wish everyone the best of luck, and thank you all for your hard work and your community, more importantly.
Thanks for the feedback. We really appreciate it. We appreciate every single user, whether small, big, middlemen. It's nice to have you all be part of our community.
Definitely. Anything else, guys? Any other questions? And we'll give them a chance to wrap it up then. Nope. Going once. Twice. All right, guys. The floor is yours. If you want to wrap it up, say any last words to anybody listening, and we'll wrap it up.
I'd just like to thank everyone for their time today. I appreciate you all coming, and enjoy your weekend. Happy bean baking.
Happy bean baking indeed. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is Baked Beans with Dirty Mike and the boys. This is a very successful AMA. A lot of information, a lot of questions asked, and a lot of answers, and just a lot of information about the project. And I think you guys did a great job of explaining everything very clearly about the way it works, and just anybody that had any fears of this, I think you guys did a great job of explaining the way that the system actually works, and it's designed to just keep everything running smoothly. I want to thank you guys for joining me, and you guys will always be a friend of the channel, and we'll definitely do this again.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll talk with you guys again shortly. All right, guys, that was another successful AMA. Make sure you drop a like on the video when I drop it later on tonight, and I'd be happy to have you join my YouTube channel as a sub as well. Make sure you hit that sub button, and I put out content every day. Just about. So, keep an eye out. If you guys have a favorite project you'd like to see me talk about, just let me know. And you could direct message me on Telegram. That's Dirty Mike Crypto. If you guys know of a project you'd like me to talk about, or if you know anybody that would like to do an AMA here in this group, we'd love to have them. All right, I'll talk with you guys shortly. Have a great weekend.